Hey, what's up everyone? So I'm prepping a little PSA BGS order. I'm going to go over these and play a little bit of guess the grade, and then talk a little bit about why I'm sending, what I'm sending, where, and why I'm sending it. Alright, so to start, we've got about a 70 card PSA order that we're going to start with. You know, I'm trying to take advantage of that $18 new value level. $199 is the max value that you can have per card for it to count, so otherwise they're going to upgrade you. Now I hope we get a couple upcharges. You know, what's that saying? If you play with fire, you're going to get burnt. Well, we don't want to get burnt, but we want to keep our values of our card as close to 200 as we can. So there's a lot of rejects that I did not send. So, you know, I'm expecting a lot of 10s here. Really went over these cards hard. I really hope we get it out of it. If we get a lot of 10s, we're going to be close. There's a lot of other cards you'll see that, you know, raw form or PSA 8 or 9 form is going to be around that $200 level, so we're really hoping that we get a couple upcharges, honestly. But starting out here, favorite set, favorite rookie from this draft class, last year's, Franz Wagner. I mean, watching this kid play, he's going to be a star in this league for a long time. Reminds me a lot of Jason Tatum. Can do it all, but this, I really think we're going to get a 10 on that. These anniversary editions, so hard to pull. I ripped a lot. I think we got a 10 there. Teals. I love these teals. I've got one more farther in there. I think these two are 10s. They're really hard to get nice and centered. These are both centered well. They look excellent throughout. I'm going to call 10s on those. These orange lasers, beautiful card, and that really goes well with that Orlando jersey. But I'm thinking that could get a 10 on both. One of them, there's a tiny little scratch up here by the head. PSA loves 9s, so I'm going to go with a 10 and a 9. These Donruss choice rated rookies. Now that's just the base version, but man, it's beautiful, and it's a really nice card. So we've got 4 of those. I really think we'll get 10s on all those. Like I said, all my cards are not 10s, but I'm really only sending the things that I think will get, in most cases, things that I think will get 10s. Evan Mobley, hoping for a big year 2 out of this guy. Another teal, I think that's a 10. Jaw on the laser, looked like a 10 to me. You know, we try not to send base, but here's one that's a good example of one that we'd send. So I got this in a lot, and I sold off most of the lot, so this card basically cost me nothing, right? So, you know, the raw is probably $50 or something like that. PSA 10 is going to be hovering right around that $200 level. You know, I'm hoping that we get a 10. If we get a 9, then I'm not really losing money there, so it's okay. Donruss Elite, once again, super hard to grade. These corners, edges, that foil is very sensitive. This one is really nice. I really think it could be a 10. There's a little bit, I mean, just the tiniest touch of white on that corner. They'll probably give it a 9, so I'm going to call it a 9. These mosaics, centered well, good surfaces on all these Zions, the orange reactive and blue. You know, I really think, 10s on all 3. I'm going to call it a 10, but I know they love giving those mosaics an 8 out of nowhere every once in a while. So jaw on that blue is really nice. I'm going to call that a 10. Optic, another one that the centering can be just barely off, and they just bury you with the grade. This is just a touch off. It is literally within 60-40. I actually measured it just to see, you know, there's no dimples on that surface. It's actually super clean. Love Maxey. He's such a good basketball player. I'm going to call it a 10, even though we'll see. We'll have to see. But we have 3 LaMelo base. I had a whole bunch. They didn't all get sent, just the ones that are very centered and have nice corners, mostly on the back. You know, when they cut these corners on the back, you can have some issues, especially on the bottom is where you'll usually see it. These were all actually really nice, so I expect 10s on all those. This nice Giddy teal, another one. I really love that card. I love Giddy. I'm giddy about watching him this year, right? No. Okay, that was bad. I'm a dad, so dad jokes are okay. KD, on the front it looks flawless. On the back, that black is so hard to grade sometimes. You know, just a little touch of white on the edges here. I think that's enough to give it a 9. I don't think there's so much that it will get an 8, but I wouldn't be surprised to see an 8.5 maybe. See a little touch of white there. I'm going to call it an 8.5. We'll see. Jordan Poole on the purple disco. I had a ton of Poole rookies from this premium stock set. I love that. I love premium stock, you know. It's just a 1 year only kind of deal. I'm expecting a 10 there. Select, I see them murder select on grades so often. You know, this one is really clean. Looks centered. You can tell, you know, if you look at the border around the select there and then the name here, it's kind of where you get your centering. Corners, edges, they look pristine. I'm going to call it a 10. We'll see. This AD, it's off center, top to bottom. I'm going to guess a 9. It is numbered out of 10. This is another one that I bought in that lot, so if they give me a 10 or even an 8, you know, then at least it's a graded copy of an 8. Probably 80, 90 bucks or something like that. So I can live with that. Here's one of the ones that I hope we get an upcharge on. Kobe Liftoff. Now, looking at this card really close, it looks really good. I'm going to expect a 9, which puts us right about that $200 level. Now, this is just on that, so that puts us about that $200 level. If they give it a 10, it goes from $200 to $800. So I'm hoping that they're saying, let's charge this guy an extra 30 bucks. I'll gladly pay it. Zaire, not really sure about him. You know, I think the card's worth grading because it's numbered to 25. You know, if it's a 9 or a 10, it should still be within the $100 to $200 range. If he starts playing good, it could become a hot card that really jumps up in price. We'll hope so. Same with Wiseman here. I'm going to guess a 9. I mean, this is centered pretty well. Top to bottom is just a smidge off, but within 60-40. You know, I think it deserves a 10. The corners are excellent. Edges, you know, back centering is perfect. There were no flaws at all on the surface, but I'm going to call it a 9. Patrick Williams, nice orange ice. Really hope he does well. Bulls looked excellent at the beginning of last year. 10 there, I think. KD on the orange wave. That was in that lot I got. There were so many KD. I guess I'm a KD guy now, so that looked like a 10, numbered to 60. Zion. This is one I hope they upcharge me on too. You know, the left-right centering is a bit off. It's probably 9 centering, so that's what I would expect. You know, it's numbered out of 99, so if it's a 10, then it's a $400 card probably, I would guess. So, you know, if they want to give me a 10 there and upcharge me, I'll take it. Franzi boy again, numbered to 199 on the NBA hoops. I think we got a 10 there. Kobe SP rookie. We'll see. The edges on the back of these die cut cards can be pretty rough. I'm going to guess an 8 on that one. That one's a PC though. I love that card. This KG special edition. This is one that's raw. If it's a raw or a PSA 9, it's basically not worth grading. It's only worth it if it's a 10. Now this looked pristine. I mean, the corners, edges, the surface, everything looked good. I think it could be a 10 once again. If it's not, PC. Jordan steel slamming is probably an 8. If it's an 8, it stays under that $200 level, just barely. If it's a 9, it'd be above it. I don't think it's a 9 because that corner is pretty rough. I don't know. There, you can see that there. Hey, you know, it could even be a 7. We'll see what they say. Bam Genesis. This is another one. This This is a funny card because it's a first day issue. I think it's I think they say there's about 1,000 of these. This stamping on the back, see, whenever the foil on the cards, whenever they came off the press, and they're in the package, that foil, it's a factory issue where it would rip the color off the back. So that really shouldn't go against the grade, and you'll see a split bag. Sometimes it does. Sometimes they'll grade against you on that. Sometimes they won't. I mean, this card is super clean, and it's another one that if it's an 8 or a 9, it's under the level, and a 10 jumps way up. I love that card though. It's PC. It's not going anywhere. Nice Kobe rookie. Probably an 8. Back's a little bit rough, a little bit of discoloring on the top. Marcus Smart rookie. I love that green color match. That's the only issue with it. It's that little dimple up there, if you can see it again. We'll see how nice they want to be. I'm going to call it a 9. We'll see. All right. Rodman, I love this Planet Metal. Probably a 9. You know, these are very tough to grade. That's a lot of that looks like damage, but it's actually just stuff on the holder. But I think that's a 9. Soul of the Game. I love that insert too. I have a Jordan and a Kobe off at BGS. Could be a 10. I'm going to call it a 9 just because that's PSA. This one, Davion. Man, he's good. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does this year. There was a little bit of issue on the front. It could go either way, a 9 or a 10. I'm going to call it a 9 as well. Kawiwi, Mr. Fun Guy, Genesis. I think that's a 10. Russ Westbrook, one of my favorite guys. I mean, I don't care what you say. I love this guy's heart in the game. You know, even if I disagree with his dresses, I think he's an amazing, fun ball player to watch. Nice centering on the back and front. No issues. I think that's a 10 there. James Wiseman, nice silver prism. Obviously left right is off. I'm hoping I get a 9 because everything else is so clean. Not an issue at all on the surface. Back corners all look great. I think that's gonna be a 9. This LaMelo, this is gonna be a little tough because there's a little tiny dimple there. Left right centering's not great. I'm praying for a 9. I'm gonna call it an 8. That's a PC just because it meant a lot to me whenever I pulled that card from a pack. Jalen Suggs, another teal. I think that's a 10. Tyrese Halliburton. Like I said, selects, they sometimes grade those hard. I think that's a 10 though. He could be good. That Indiana team looks really, really nice. So Tatum, he's my PC. I've got a lot of stuff at BGS of him right now. I think that's a 10. This Lillard, absolute glass. I think we've got a 10 there. Those actually are pretty easy to get a 10 on as long as they're centered well. This Marcus Smart, really, what a nice patch. That is so nice. It's a rookie, 24 out of 25 patch. I think that's a 9 probably. Luke Purple fast break disco, numbered out of 50. I think this one's probably going to be a 10. If it is, I think they'll upcharge me on that. This one, if it's a 10, they'll upcharge me too, but you see the top bottom centering's a little off. I'm going to guess a 9 there. You know, everything else looks good, so it has a chance, small chance, but I'll call it a 9. Nice KD patch rookie. It actually looks really good. You know, if I'm a grader, I'm giving it a 9, but I know PSA. 8. Definitely an 8, right? Alright, just a few cards left on the PSA order. Obi, Mr. Between the Legs Dunkirk Man, 10. Hero, that one looked really clean, 10. Cade, everything but the centering is perfect on that. I think that's going to be a 9 due to the centering. This LaMelo probably off-centered enough that it could be an 8. once again, another PC card, so if it's an 8, I'll live with it. If it's a 9, that'd be great, but we'll see. Anthony Edwards, Court Kings, Rookies 2, 9. Franz, love the color match on this. Like I said, elite. It's hard to grade. Hope it gets a 10, but as you see there, probably not, but that's a PC card. I think 15 years from now, people are going to be like, oh yeah, you remember that Donruss Elite brand that came out? Oh, that was beautiful. It kind of reminded me of PMG, and then they're going to want it, and I'm going to have that one in my PC still. Alright, Luke, I love this. Second year My House from Clearly Donruss, numbered out of 49. I think that's going to be a 10. That might be an upcharge. I can't remember how much those are going for now. Bones, another one. In the Elite, I think that's a 10. James Wiseman. I got this card for $3 the other day. Pretty good deal, right? Especially since it looks like a 10 to me. I'm calling it a 10. Scotty Barnes. That orange, kind of like a color match. There's a little issue on the surface there. I'm going to call it a 9. Nice Giannis of 35 insert. 9. And the last one, the Franz that I said was a little off center. I'm going to guess a 9. That's the end of the PSA order. Alright, now this is the stuff that I'm sending to BGS. Obviously, with the economy of PSA, there's no autos, right? They are allowing 1980s and up, which is nice because it allowed me to combine a lot of that last order. But no autos, so, you know, a lot of these are PC. So, that's why they're going BGS. BGS has a $22 service level now with subgrades. You know, 16 is nice, but I can't do no subgrades if I go to BGS. But this is the first one. This is so nice. It's an on-card auto. Kevin Durant, 25 out of 25. eBay 101, right? It is. It came from a Panini Rewards sealed case. I had to bust it out of there to get it. It is. It's very nice. There's a tiny little issue on one of the back corners. I'm gonna say a 9.5. This Davion auto 99 from Donruss Choice. Another 9.5, I believe. It's actually one of the only ones that I looked at and I thought it could be a 10. That centering, I'd bet you $100 that's 10 centering. But I'm gonna guess a 9.5 grade on that. This Kobe, at the beginning of the pandemic, I bought a couple sheets of Kobe rookies from this guy in Mississippi, and they were so neglected. This was one of them, and it took me a long time to clean it up. Now it's in pretty poor condition, but to me it's worth grading. It's numbered out of 1,000. You know, it's pretty cool. I just love that picture of him. I love the fact that it's numbered to 1,000. You know, I would guess probably a 7.5 on that. Maybe even a 7, but PC, so I'll live with it. Just want it protected. Cam Thomas. Left to right centering's good. Top to bottom, a little off. He's another one, you know, if you're thinking about the future, in about 5 years, there's a lot of big names that aren't going to be in the league anymore, and a lot of guys that are going to have to stand up, take their place. This is going to be one of those guys. Cam is just incredibly talented offensively. Has a shot at a 9.5 because I think the rest of the subgrades are going to be so good. Probably going to be a 9 centering, but I think maybe a 9.5 overall. This Giddy centering's a little worse, but everything else is good. I'm going to guess that it gets a 9. Like I said earlier, I love Giddy. Love Choice. There we go. Mr. PC. I can't wait to do a reveal of all the stuff that's coming back from BGS for my Tatum PC. I'll go over all that, but here's one I just picked up off auction not too long ago. Everything is pristine on this except, you know, die cuts. These edges really have a hard time. I'd guess that subgrades on the edges, maybe a 9, most likely an 8.5. You know, it could be Could be a 9.5 overall if they're generous with the surface grade or something, you know, that gives me a 10, which, like I said, zero surface issues, and the centering on this is really darn near perfect, so I'm going to guess a 9.5. Giannis, I picked up a few of his rookies here lately. This one's really clean. This has one light scratch right here by the shoulder. I guess a 9 on that. PC anyway. Lillard, Making It Rain auto of 10. Pretty good condition overall. I'm gonna guess a 9 just because, right? We'll see. MJ, I love this. Another one I picked up from that big lot that I bought. Pretty rare card, 1998 Thunder set. A lot of good stuff came out of that. You know, it's a thicker card, so it's gonna be hard to grade well. I'd guess probably an 8 on that. Another Lillard auto, on card, 23/25. Nice patch there. I'm gonna guess a BGS 9. Here's a nice Gronk. I don't do any football anymore, but here's a nice Gronk rookie patch auto. Really nice, out of 75. It's robbery how little these go for compared to, you know, Kyle Pitts or whoever, Jalen Waddle, or, you know, receivers and tight ends now. It's criminal to me that this only goes for a couple $100, and those guys are way outselling them. But I think this is probably a 9.5. It's so clean. I got it on trade so I could try to pick up some Tatums. Next, Kobe. I got a real good deal on that at my local LCS. I'm gonna guess a 9. A couple surface issues, and then the edge is a little rough. You know, could be an 8.5, probably a 9. You know, it ain't going nowhere, so I'll live with that. Here's one of my favorite cards. This team, man, I wish they had stayed together. That would have been fun to watch. But Game Gear Duels /25, KD, Russ Westbrook, two of my favorite guys. I guess I'm gonna guess a 9.5 there. I'm gonna guess a 9 there, just because it's thicker. It is in good shape though. Last one for the BGS order to close us out. Really nice KD. Look at that. I mean, I'm not a huge patch guy, but how could you not want that? That is beautiful patch, and that card with the tie-dye look, numbered to 25, 5/25. Now it is. It's really clean. I'm gonna guess another 9 to close it out, but can't wait to send these in. I hope we don't have to wait like 4 months to see what all these grades come back as, but as soon as they come back, I'll probably do, you know, one video for PSA, one for BGS, and we'll see how close I was. So thanks for watching.